Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with a new Trifecta deck, this time using Goblin Barrel as well on my free-to-play account. But as you can see on the screen, you guys know that on my channel I like to cover current events and news in the game, and Tim actually posted about some things that the Clash team is working on right now, including improved tournaments a lot. They want to pretty much rework them in a really big way, new cards, balance changes, and most importantly, making legendaries easier to get, at least in my mind, because that's why I'm doing this episode, guys. It's a no legendary deck to help you guys get to Royal Arena. As you can see, I'm trying to get there myself right now. I'm around 1,800 cups. But the thing is, you know, for tournaments, it's really no fun unless you have some legendary cards, because you can't compete consistently unless you're playing Trifecta and you're really, really good at it and all your cards are really high leveled up to tournament standards. You're really at a huge disadvantage not having those staple legendary cards. So you guys can see my deck. I subbed in the Goblin Barrel from the original Trifecta deck, and I also have Fire Spirits in this deck, and I really like this deck, so we're going to play it a little bit here in Builder Workshop Arena, and hopefully we'll win a lot, and hopefully we'll get to a Royal Arena. Not this episode, probably, because I'm only going to do 3 or 4 matches, so unless I win them all and get like 40 cups each, there's not going to be a way I'm going to be able to do that. But the idea here is a very aggressive deck with the Goblin Barrel. It takes the Trifecta and really puts it on steroids here. The normal Trifecta deck, it's really all about playing defense and then turning those successful defenses into a strong counter push. But with this deck, you can actually throw in, I'm going to go super aggressive here on the right lane because I don't have a great counter on the left. I'm going to put these minions down on this wizard as soon as the wizard locks onto the tower. He's going to get a lot of damage done to my left tower here. We're going to have to make this a comeback because he's going to take down my left tower here. That was a bad start for me, talking about how dominant this deck is, but you know, we'll make a comeback here, or at least we'll try to. That's the thing, guys. I'm playing at this level. I'm sure a lot of you guys can sympathize with me here, but at this level right now in trophies, I'm really under-leveled. My cards are all level 5 or level 6 for rares. My Hog's level 5. I think Musketeer's the only level 6 I have right now, and I'm going up against level 7 and sometimes level 8 rares. That makes a big, big difference. So what we're really trying to do on this account is level our cards up, especially our rares, to get to the tournament standard so we can actually play in tournaments and have a chance at winning with this deck. So there it is, guys. We were able to pull off the Hog Goblin Barrel combo on the right tower, and we got a lot of damage done off of it as well. I'm going to use a Valkyrie in just a second here against this these Spear Goblins and the Wizard here. That should take that down. So the idea with the Goblin Barrel is, obviously, Goblin Barrel is very easy to counter, right? So you have Zap, easy counter. Arrows, Princess, you name it, there's a lot of easy counters for a Goblin Barrel. That's why when you're using it offensively, and I'm actually using Goblin Barrel on my main account as well, and when you use it, you just have to know what your opponent has as far as direct damage spells. You can see that Fireball there, arrows, etc. And basically, you have to be a savvy attacker. You have to wait until they don't have their Zap up and use the Goblin Barrel, or make them choose, and you can lure out their arrows or their Zap with this deck, especially using the minions, for example. Just checking that Fireball to see if I had enough damage to take out that right tower. It looks like I don't, but it's okay. I'll just Zap it as well. So basically what we're trying to do here, back to the Goblin Barrel, we're using the Goblin Barrel selectively, right? So we're making the opponent we're trying to lure out his arrows, his Zap, whatever, or we're going to use it in the opposite tower like this. And what this does is actually going to get a few hits on that left tower, which is good, and it caused him to play the Wizard using, you know, Fort Elixir in his left lane, and what I can do is go more aggressively in the right lane. You can see here it didn't work out perfectly, but the idea here is sometimes you can use that Goblin Barrel to hit the opposite tower that you're working on, and then it will just keep your opponent having to play cards in the way that they don't want to. It's all about disturbing whatever your opponent's trying to do here. And you can see, not the best game so far for me, but I'm just going to keep chipping away. And when you get into overtime with this deck, it actually moves pretty fast. You can cycle to that Hog pretty quickly, although I must admit this opponent actually has a pretty good deck for countering all my small hit point units here. Like the Goblin Barrel, he has a Wizard, which he has Zap, he has Wizard, and he has Fireball. So it's kind of holding us up a little bit here, but we're going to keep cycling to this Hog Riders, trying to get a hit off on this tower. He has a pretty fast deck too, so he's going to be ready on there with a cannon. I'm just going to kind of reload at this point. this might be a tie here. There's only 20 seconds left, and neither of us are doing a heck of a lot of damage to the other one's tower. So it looks like we're going to start off this episode with a tie. Just going to kind of hold on here at this point. I don't think I can make a push in 15 seconds, so we're just going to play defense a little bit here, and we'll call this one a tie. It's a pretty good tie. He had a higher level cards than I, so you know what? The thing is trying to get to Royal Arena, you don't want to lose a lot. Even tying is actually okay. You know, you get some experience, and I got a crown down, so I can get that on my crown chest as well, and we'll just keep moving on, hopefully leveling up some of these cards. So let's go ahead and play another match right now. Don't need to open a chest, so we'll go ahead. This is a free-to-play account, guys, but I do gem chests if they're all full, and I have the gems from other chests that I opened. I'm just not buying gems, although I did once to host a tournament, so don't hold me to that. So interesting starting hand here. Probably just going to start out with a Musketeer, and then base off of whatever the opponent does, what we're going to play next. So we're just kind of waiting things out right now. I hate to make the first move with the Trifecta deck, especially because it's just not aggressive enough to set the tempo right out the gate. I can't like throw down a Hog. Well, I could throw down a Hog and a Fire Spirit if I had them both in my my first starting hand here, but I don't think I can take down a level 3 Epic here with my Fireball. Let me see. Nope, just barely. So he's playing a Witch and a Royal Giant. Very interesting here. So I'm going to play a Valkyrie as soon as the Witch catches up. I just want my Valkyrie to be positioned correctly, and of course she's not, but I did take the Witch down with that Zap spell. So now we have a Valkyrie, Hog Rider, and Musketeer, basically the Trifecta. Valkyrie goes down, but this should be pretty good. Okay, maybe not. Didn't see that Inferno Tower coming at all. But the Musketeer is going to get a few hits on this tower, hopefully, and those archers will go. Oh, man. I am not used to my Fire Spirit not killing archers, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and let those archers go. I don't think they'll get more than one hit off on my tower. I'm going to keep him guessing here with my Goblin Barrel. Unfortunately, that was a bust, and he did get a few hits on my tower there, so that didn't work out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm going to go ahead and Fireball here. You know what? I probably shouldn't have used that Fireball. I probably should have waited till he played a Witch instead, because I suspect he'll do the same thing, a Witch Royal Giant coming at me in the right, because that's what he did in the first push, and he's waiting till he gets full Elixir, so he's starting to become a little bit predictable, and we don't want to be the same, but we're going to have to be, because we have the same hand virtually that we did last time. See, there's the Witch. If I had saved that Fireball, I could have used the Fireball on the Witch right there in the tower and the Elixir Collector. So I used a Hog in the left lane. Let's try to keep him defending. I don't want those minions, for example, that he used to defend against my Hog to go with the Royal Giant and the Witch. It would be much more difficult for me to counter that way. So the Valkyrie's going to take out those archers. I'm going to let those minions get a few hits on my left tower. I'm going to use the Goblin Barrel instead. Now the Goblin Barrel really works out well over there. You can see how he just dropped that Inferno Tower. That left him with no Elixir, and I'm able to take out the Inferno Tower and get a lot of damage done to that right tower. Do I take it down? I do. So that was really, really good there. And he played the Elixir Collector at the wrong time there. I was able to sneak in that Hog Rider as well. So that's the thing. If you see your opponent reload with an Elixir Collector, sometimes that means it's a great opportunity to take down, to put down a Hog in that lane as well. Even if you're not playing a Trifecta deck, it's actually just a beautiful time to, mid-match, oftentimes when people put down Elixir Collectors mid-match, it's kind of a risky move for them to do, especially if you have more Elixir than they had anticipated. So we're just going to keep going here. It looks like we won this match pretty easily here at this point. So we're 1-0-1 right now. One tie, one win with the new Trifecta deck. I love the Goblin Barrel, guys. My Goblin Barrel is only level 2 right now, so I wish it was level 3. It would be that more effective, and certainly that would be our priority here, to get one more. I think I only need one more card to level up my Goblin Barrel, but if you guys have a level 3 Goblin Barrel, then you guys are good, really good to go using this strategy. And I subbed out, let me think, I think I subbed out Mini P.E.K.K.A. or Barbarians. I forget which one of the two I was using. I think it was Barbarians for the Goblin Barrel. So I'll go ahead and link my very first Trifecta deck that I did. I think I've probably done 2 now, one for my free-to-play account and one for my main account with the Trifecta deck. So actually one of them was a tournament episode. I'll go ahead and link them anyway in the description below if you guys are interested in seeing more Trifecta action here. So we're just going to kind of try to get something going over here in the left, but he had that Knight there. A pretty good Knight play there. So Ray here seems pretty good. He seems to know what he's doing here. It's actually pretty cool that when I started with my free-to-play account, obviously it was really low level, but some people just had absolutely no clue, and it made for really difficult videos because, you know, you don't want to bring you guys awful quality. So, but lately, once I've climbed to Arena 5 to 6 range, things have been much, much better in terms of quality of opponents. So I'm really happy to see that. That means people are learning, or the people who just can't get a feel for the game are stopping to play the game. So I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're going to go ahead and go pretty aggressive here in the left. I don't know if we're going to even be able to touch this tower, though. Very nice counter there. Oh, we got a few hundred off that tower, so it wasn't the end of the world. We're just going to fireball at this point. He actually countered with fire spirits, barbarians, and archers there. That was a lot coming at me there. I'm going to zap in the right here. You know, I might have been better off zapping the left there because he was going after my left tower, but you know what? If your opponent actually starts to go for both of your towers, sometimes it's better just to let them, especially with the Trifecta deck, because this deck, more often than not, you're gonna win 1-0 on these towers, or 2-1. You rarely 3-star a tower, so usually if you can take down one of their towers, that's enough. And you can see right now he's kind of going after both of my towers, so that might come back to haunt him, or maybe not. Maybe he'll win 2-0. So we'll see how it goes here. I'm kind of defending on the left with a Valkyrie, on the right with a Musketeer. He did a lot of damage to my right tower with that giant there, even though I had the Musketeer down. I'm gonna zap these barbarians, get one hit in with my level 5 Hog Rider here. I mean, this level 5 Hog Rider, he doesn't do a lot of damage, man. I need to get this guy to level 6 so I can actually stand a chance, get a couple hits in on this tower anyway. These level 10 barbarians really killing me here, but you know what? I'm gonna have to do a better job at selecting the timing on my Hog Rider as well, so partially the blame is to fall on me. So I'm using another Goblin Barrel there, get a few hits in on that tower with these goblins. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to fireball here, take these archers down. I don't want him getting something big going here, and what this will do is allow my Musketeer to stay alive as well. So I snuck in a Hog Rider there. Let's see if I can get a hit or two in. Again, he has a nice, very nice timed barbarians there. I'm just going to have to sit back at this point, use the Valkyrie once the barbarians cross over to the range of my tower. So again, he's coming pretty hard in the right, or shouldn't say pretty hard, but he's coming at me in the right as well, just continuing to chip away. But we're in overtime, so it doesn't matter if he touches my right tower at this point, as long as I can take him down here. So I'm going to fireball, and that's it. That's game. So he actually played really well there, but he diversified his attention from my left and my right tower pretty evenly, and that allowed me that window to really focus in on only one of his towers. So guys, maybe next episode we'll get to Royal Arena with my free-to-play account. I really hope so. If you want to give this deck a try, let me know how it goes for you guys. Interested to hear how it works out, and if you want to see any more different types of decks on my free-to-play account, let me know, guys. I'd love to hear, love to try out new variations. You can see my cards and my card levels. Nothing too impressive here, but I'm happy to try out anything that you guys want me to use. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.